Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while. It's been a while. You know, I don't want to say that Madame la Prof has been busier than usual. No, I haven't. But there is a definite vibe of feeling that like I can't really put my finger on it. I've spoken to a couple of different teachers, and this school year, the start to the school year, is not better, it's not worse, it's different. And sometimes getting used to different takes some time. As you probably witnessed, I have a new classroom. It's a new temporary classroom. I don't think it's going to be a permanent classroom. At least I hope not. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to object to having my classroom in one half of the library. It's comfy, it's cozy. I have like a little reading area, reading nook for students who are done their work early. It's right next to the student council room, which is not a horrible thing either. But you know, it is the library, and to monopolize the library for 4 classes, 5 if you count my colleague who has her English class in here as well. I have a roomie, yes, and she's an English teacher, and there are some lovely grade 7s in here. But you know, I don't think it's a cool idea to monopolize the library for a classroom. I'm here to sip my coffee. Wish you all a good morning or good afternoon, depending on when you are watching this video on YouTube. I would like to say hi and to give a shout out to some of my students. Yes, I do have some of my students who are subscribers. And first of all, I'm super flattered because I never actually asked for them to subscribe. I don't do that. But they found me and they subscribed, so yay. So shout out to Tommy and to the football team. Hope you won. Hope you won your game last night. Apparently they had a big game. And a lot was riding on this game. At least I think that was the vibe that I was getting. So to Tommy and the football team and all the grade 11s that I have this year, because I only have grade 11s this year. I don't know what god I sacrificed an appliance to, but I was given all grade 11s, which could be a good thing or an even better thing. So I do have some advice to give to these lovely grade 11s, you know, the football players included. Some pieces of advice to survive the school year. And it's like I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. I'm just going to give like my 3 best advice to survive the school year, and potentially also advice that you will carry over into, you know, CEGEP or vocational education, depending on where you go. So number 1, and I say this from the heart, could y'all organize yourselves? Like, I see some kiddos here, and I love them to bits, but they try to put, you know, 10 different subjects into one 1-inch binder. It can't be done, honey. It can't be done. There are some teachers who give more handouts than I do, and when the small duotang is about as thick as a 5-inch binder, yeah, no, don't. And all the papers are crumpled up. It's no. Get yourselves organized. Advice number 2, and it's going to make sense perhaps later on. Enjoy learning. Now, I know a lot of students are learning in order to pass an exam that will give them grades, that will allow them to enter the program that they want to study in. However, that can generate a heck of a lot of stress and anxiety, especially if you don't necessarily get the grades you need to enter the program of study that you want. And it's very stressful because you say to yourself, why can't I do this? So the first thing you have to tell yourself is, first of all, you've got all the time in the world. There's no schedule, okay? Yes, you're going to finish high school in June of 2023, but that doesn't mean that if you don't get the credits that you need and you don't get the grades that you need, you will never become what you want to become. It might take longer for you. So if you're faced with a subject that is more difficult for you, stop learning to get the 95 or the 98 or whatever, and learn for the sake of learning and enjoy what you do learn and what you do understand, and that's easy for you to understand. You have to get yourself into a certain mindset to convince yourself that even though you got a 65 or a failing mark or whatever in your test, in your science test, your math test, your French test, it does not mean that you're not trying, that you're not putting in the effort, or that you're not good enough. Because there's so much stress that is put on one little number, and people think that that number identifies them, and it doesn't. So enjoy your learning. And the third piece of advice, and it's kind of like tied to the last one, you're in control. You're in control of what's happening around you. So that means if you know for a fact that you are struggling, that you are having difficulties, that it's going to be hard for you, you are in control. Tell your teachers, tell the administrator, tell the parents, tell your parents that, I'm sorry, this is very tough for me right now, it's very difficult, so I rather focus on the things that I'm good at and I can focus on and that I know I can get good grades on, but that means I am going to take a break from this. Now, I'm not saying slack off. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you can call the shots on what you're doing at school and what you're learning. And that also means if you want to do something fun at school, do something fun. You're in control. You have to be mindful of everyone else around you whose goals, whose end game might not resemble yours. So when I say you're in control, it does not mean you're in control and who cares about everyone else around you. But your reality, your end game, you're in charge of it. You're the one calling the shots. You have to take ownership, not just of your learning, but your entire experience at school. Whether it's like student council, sports and games, you're the one who's calling the shots. So that means having a good understanding and grasp of what you like, what you don't like, what you can do, what you can't do, and being capable of having those hard conversations with the people around you, your parents, the administrators, your teachers, and having an honest conversation. And that shows a lot more integrity than slacking off and giving the impression that you don't care. So those are my 3 pieces of advice for the grade 11s this year. If you haven't done so yet, like and subscribe, share with your friends, tell the world, Madame la Prof is here to share golden nuggets of advice for the school year. It's a Friday morning, it's been a long week. I'm kind of like mellow, having a sip of coffee. Have yourselves an awesome day.